Today we are talking soft boxes and creating huge overhead sources and huge side key sources too.
We really wanted a solution like this for our studio for a number of reasons. But we kept getting comments about what we did for our solution, and as we used that one, we started realizing we needed something legit.
Honeycrates did send us this, but they didn't reach out to us. I've been bugging Danny at Honeycrates. He is the founder and president at Honeycrates. I've been bugging him for a while because our DIY solution is not the best. So stay tuned because we're going to compare Honeycrates to what we created, and you're going to want to see that. All right, so first things first, we're going to set up the simplest configuration, the gravity configuration. So what you're going to need for that, you're going to need some 8-foot square, 1-inch square tubing, some corners, and a couple of ears to connect it up to your combo stands and your lollipops. And in the first bag, we have our Beehive panel. So this is nicely rolled up in here.
Excellent. Best to have 2 people for this job.
That's right. So the best way to do this, because it is one solid piece that goes all the way around. One of the best parts of the Beehive is having the ultra bounce inside plus the black outside.
And spoiler alert, when the skirt goes around, it's going to come past this corner and you'll see it Velcro onto this part. So you get that nice overlap. There's no seam, no crack, ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Having one solid piece that goes all the way around really helps with light leak and making sure that you have a really contained, nice softbox. All right, so this is the kind of pro tip for tying the Beehive to the sides is using a knot called the opera knot. And you're gonna wrap around the top and then up and over, and then you will just pull it nice and snug and then tie a regular old bunny ear knot up here. But what this knot does is it allows you to get this nice and snug, tight along the top, so it's not sagging. You're not having any of that aluminum showing or any light leak anywhere you don't want it.
And we should probably give credit to Decon who told us about this knot. It's definitely the way to go. Then you get these corners really sharp too, because you can pull it up over that corner and then get this knot nice and tight. And then you've got a nice framework to build around there. I should probably put some lotion on my hands. It's winter time.
All right, so we got the panel, we got the sides on, and you'll notice right here, sorry for the mic, they also have Velcro on the inside so that all of these are lining up, they're connecting with the Velcro, and the Velcro on the bottom, keeping this all nice and tight. But then you'll notice another strip of Velcro down here. Now that is for the skirt, so you can have a really direct coned light from light source from above. So we're gonna lift this up and we're gonna go inside to add the diffusion. Joel will hike it up on that side. That should be good. So we're gonna need 4 more pieces of square tubing and some corners. All right, so we're just getting this diffusion frame built right now.
And don't be fooled by our 3-way corners here. We're just using these because we have them, but you can use any corner for this setup because the frame is being held by the strings, not by a post here in the corner. All right, so Keenan's done this before. This is actually my first time, and what I noticed is, so when you look in here and you see this skirt from the inside, you'll notice these ropes are not on the bottom. Typically, you see them hung here at the very bottom, but Honeycrates has thought of that and said, you know what, we need to put the frame above so we get that extra protection here. No light leak, and I think that's brilliant.
Light protection is the safest protection you could have.
Better than sunscreen. Okay, quick recap. So we've hung the 8x8 2-foot black and white panel. We put in the additional 8x8 frame underneath. It's tied into the bottom. So what's next?
Up next is the diffusion layer. So we're gonna add an 8x8 cine cloth, and we're gonna get this mounted inside. As we said, this is considered kind of called the gravity configuration. And there's nothing holding these 2 square tubing frames together besides this panel, besides the Beehive panel. So it's completely loose, just being hung together and held together with these strings here. All right, the last piece of the puzzle. There we go.
Keenan, I love how everything is labeled and very clear of what it is. So just in case you'd put something in the wrong bag, I mean, they've all got labels on them and you can see what size they are, what material it is.
Even on the bag, it is beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, so we got it all set up, built, and normally you would tie these up, but for the sake of keeping the video moving, we're gonna leave them there because we have some more configurations to show you. So we have a 600D over here that we're just gonna boom over this softbox for now. There's a lot of other great options, but this is kind of the simplest, quickest way of doing it in the least amount of gear. We're gonna fire this up and boom it over.
So even in this lightest configuration, you're still dealing with a lot of weight with the box, with the lights, and it just gets heavier and heavier as you add equipment. So it's nice to have good quality stuff. When we show those honey sticks, man, those are sweet.
All right, well, let's fire this up and
let's go
see what we're working with. There we go. Nice soft overhead.
Okay, so that wraps up the first iteration of the Honeycrates Beehive. This is about as simple as you can do with their system, and you can see it works, but we're gonna take it up a notch.
So we got everything taken apart and we're gonna start the next build, which is our personal favorite build and the only way that we've had the Beehive set up since we got it. And you can't do that without these. This is the Honey Sticks, and these are by Cine Candy Co. And these offer a ton of flexibility for what you're able to do. You're able to take a big overhead softbox, a big overhead source, and turn it into a really mobile unit by putting it on these stands. And you're able to balance it. You can take these dog ears and slide them up and down depending on if you have LED panels or heavier Novas, and you're able to pivot it on that balance so that it doesn't just slam forward and you don't have a ton of weight on these here, on the lollipops. So these are incredible.
I would say when I saw pictures of these and was looking on the website, I was thinking, this can't be the only solution. It's heavy, it looks bulky, but when you start using it, it's really amazing how lightweight everything feels when it's balanced.
They offer a lot of flexibility. They also make it able to do a really compact setup. You're able to run speed rail right in the middle, so you don't have to have a truss system running over top or anything like that. You're able to put Novas right inside and keep it really compact. Today we're going to just use some LED panels that we have. We would be using Novas, but they're in the overhead light that is lighting us right now. So
what can you do?
We're gonna get going and start building this right away.
Keenan, there's something that walked past, I think, when we were, did you see anything?
I hope we have it on camera.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. I would say when I saw pictures of these and was looking on, so we happen to know where these are supposed to be for our balance because we've already set it up, but that's something you can fine tune along the way.
All right, before we go any farther, we're gonna put our speed rail in the middle. That is gonna hold our lights and the LED panels.
And it does matter which order you do this in. If you build the box and then you try and fit the speed rail in, everything's gonna be too tight. So we learned that the hard way. We're doing it the right way this time. When you build this, you can actually let the honey stick be your frame to build the two boxes together, these two squares.
And we have these set at 2 feet because that is what our Beehive is set to for the 2-foot side walls and the 2-foot panel. But you can have it at any size you like, really.
Tell you what, when you have the right components, it's fun to build stuff.
Ready?
So maybe the pro move would be to put little Sharpie marks here once we had it perfectly spaced.
That would be.
Now here's something that I just realized about these honey sticks since I'm a first timer on these. The brackets are built so that the diffusion and the panel, well, the panel comes through inside of the honey stick. So you aren't having to wrap around this awkwardly. They give you plenty of room to pull that panel in, and I love that.
Goodbye, Joel.
All right, I got all my ties tied. What's next, Keenan?
All right, diffusion is on. We're gonna get this thing tilted back and get our light source.
Look at how easy that is.
We're gonna get our LED panels installed here, and then we're gonna put the B top on, which is gonna help close everything off so there's no light leak on the top. Again, one of the beautiful things of having the speed rail inside is being able to put heavier lights like an Aperture Nova or an RE Sky panel. We're just using these LED panels that we have. Ideally, we'd be using the Novas, but those are up above. So these will work for today. And we're gonna add our B-top. Really contain this from the top side. And this is just, it's just beautiful the way that it goes on.
It's like tucking someone in for bed and putting their nightcap on. Good night. Be careful with this fabric too. If you're pulling over sharp corners here, you can tear it. So just make sure your Velcro is loose. And then you can pull it over and tighten it.
Let's hike her up a little bit. At a nice 50%, real big, even source under here. We don't have the grid on, the honey crate on here yet. But again, let's show you the really cool thing about this system and the reason that we use it so much. Just like that, we have a really big 8-foot key side light, which is incredible. All right, one thing we missed in this video is that you can actually tighten up these corners with the Velcro straps that are right here. So if you put the light in a vertical orientation, you don't have that droopage. Look at that, that looks so much better.
It's a fairly heavy setup, but it's so easy to move around and swivel. We've had stages or things set up here where we've had to light it from this side, and then typically, if we want to light something from the other side, we have to break it down and carry it in pieces, whereas this, it's literally just rolls around. You know, you move your cables, but other than that, it's set.
And it's amazing, the lights that are in here, you know, they seem kind of small for how big this source actually is, but you know, you have all these sides that extra bounce adds in there, and these lights are only at 50% right now. So this thing can output a lot because of the way that it's built. Let's add the honey crate on there and really dial this in.
Sweet. This sucker is substantial. This isn't like some chintzy nothing. I mean, it's thick. Industrial grade webbing, surgical elastic. I'm amazed at how when we put this on and then we pulled all those Velcro straps, this was sagging way down and now it is just tight. Perfect. It
is snug. The 50 degree honey crate, and it is really keeping everything compact and tight, and there's not a lot of light leak anywhere. No place for it to go. The last thing for us to do is put on the these solid skirts, the side skirts, and we'll get those in. This comes in 4 different panels. That way, each panel can roll up individually. That way, if you want a little more bleeding on the background, you can do that. So let's show you how to put these on. Now these, again, like the honey crate, just Velcro, just easy, no more tying. We've done enough tying for today.
Again, the labels, love it. 8x8x2 Beehive solid skirt, short side.
That's right.
Yeah, when she sticks, she sticks.
They have this lined with Velcro on both sides. So you can grab this and just roll it up. So you can leave these on all the time and just drop them down when you need them. Pretty slick.
It's It's kind of like zip-off pants.
Ooh. There are two different side skirts. The one we installed first was the short side. Over here you have a long side, which the long side is actually meant to wrap around so that you don't have any bleed, you don't have corners that end up like this. It actually wraps around so you have a very, very nice tight light source. Again, no light leak anywhere.
We're gonna go ahead and kill all the lights in here so we can really get a taste of what this fixture is doing. So we can see all the light coming straight down. It's kind of like getting sucked up by a UFO. It's never happened to me though.
It's a beautiful light. It is so well made, and it's very, very durable. And you know, price-wise, it is not the cheapest on the market, but when you see what goes into it,
yeah,
and the thought that went into actually creating it and the design, it is totally justified. It makes sense why it costs what it does, especially when you compare it to our DIY one that we have, that we spent way too much time and energy trying to make it half decent, and it's still
leaks like crazy.
Not very good.
Every time we use our fixture, we're having to solve big cracks of raw light that's just pouring out the back onto our backdrop, and that's a rough deal.
We're adding more flags and blacking it out whenever that happens. We're like, where's that light streak coming from?
Where? I can't tell.
So there you have it, the 8x8 Honeycrates Beehive with bee top, the skirts, the 50-degree honey crate. Let's do some comparison to whatever we built. Here she is in all her glory, our beautiful current 12x12 overhead solution. This was done in a time crunch. We had a shoot that we needed a big overhead for, and we didn't have anything locally, we didn't have any duvetine locally, and we needed to do something quickly. So we went to our beautiful local hardware store, Menards, and picked up some tarp. But we did have to have somebody add some, cut it short, sew it up, and add some grommets so that we could tie it. For the positives of our big softbox here, cheaper was, it's probably on the list, and that might be where the list ends. But we sacrificed a lot for that. And light leak being one of those things. The inside of this wonderful black tarp is all black, and it is not white, so you're not getting any of that extra bounce that you do on the beautiful honey crate. And it looks like a trash bag, so does not look the best. The list of negatives is pretty long. Now, so this softbox setup that we do have is on winches here, so it's easy to lower and raise and do whatever. And so eventually this will all get replaced with a beautiful 12x12 Honeycrates or Beehive Honeycrates, and then we'll really be sitting good. But yeah, not a lot of positives to say about this besides the fact that we're able to get it done pretty quickly.
What it does make you grateful for is a solution like Honeycrates.
Yeah.
Because you think, well, how complicated can this be? But when you try and build it yourself, you realize, oh yeah, it is. There are a lot of components. There's a lot of ways to do it wrong. And so we learned our lesson.
We've done it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. My name's Keenan.
My name's Joel. Check you later.